metals. The United States is attempting to strong-arm as many as possible before they gain control of all of them.
Like it'll make any difference. The Chinese essentially own America now.
Well, they don't really. It's, the $2 billion they got invested in our bonds is, less than 1/10 of our debt. So we obviously are indebted to a lot of other people besides the Chinese. And we're the ones that own, some of their property, actually. I mean, our American companies do own contracts in China. So, it might equal out if you added up all that crap. But that's not the point. I mean, the point is they have the economy that's been invested in for the last 30 years, and our economy is the economy that's not been invested in. So, yeah, ours is shit. Theirs is capable. Ours is incapable.
Blake, they also gutted the value of those investment bonds by moving the yen standard away from the euro, basically cutting their losses.
Whoops, the game here is over. I mean, they're printing American dollars now to buy our own bonds. So, I mean, we're so thoroughly fucked. And, yeah, it's going to get ugly. Yeah. Because the Americans aren't going to like being fucked.
Yeah, China doesn't... Blake, this is the thing. It's worse than you think. I mean, it's honestly worse than you think. China doesn't want to own America anymore.
They only own us because they need us to consume. That's it. They're investing in our consumption. They're investing in keeping our fucking economy barely alive so we'll keep buying until we completely die. But that's it. They have no interest in owning anything here because it's not worth anything.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for clearing that.
When we're shit, when we're actual shit, then they'll come in and buy everything. When everything's devalued and nobody has any fucking money in this country, then they'll come over here and buy the whole fucking place and evict us.
We are that cute, sexy VW bug sitting on the car lot. You take a look and you think, that's a pretty good deal, and then you find out that it needs a new drivetrain transmission and all 4 struts need to be replaced. No one wants to buy the American economy right now.
Yeah, we just can't own anything that's denominated in an American value. I mean, it's completely been propped up. So when all this debt has to be destroyed, the only way it can happen is going to eventually. I mean, there's different mechanisms you can use. You can destroy the stock market. That'll kill a ton of debt. You can print cash. That'll start eating up debt, but obviously it creates huge hyperinflation. And so, but either road you take, it can deflate in the short run, but in the long run it means inflation from your standard of living, from your position. Okay, the money will have no value, and that's the end game. And so anything denominated in an American dollar is shit. You don't want to own anything that has as its foundation an American dollar.
Crazy idea. We could maybe not be investing more than 1/3 of our domestic capital in wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Just, crazy idea.
I mean, we could have done without burning cash. Blowing it up. Yeah, that really is a dumb thing to do. Build something and then blow it up. Yeah, no, that's probably not a good idea. Nope. Self-destruction is, this tape will self-destruct. No, I think we're out of tapes. No more self-destructing tapes, please.
I can just imagine the conversation with my landlord. Like, yeah, I'm going to be a little late this month, because I ordered a lot of stuff on eBay and then dumped it in a river.
The the sending address was the Hudson River. I had it sent to the Hudson River. you know, but yeah, we're just so fucked. Fucked. I was arguing with my 90-year-old father this week. As I keep. He went back into the stock market, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You're fucking out of your mind. I'm sitting there talking to my father like that. It's like, what are you fucking thinking? How can it possibly go up, you dumbass? Where's the up potential here? What's the game? What's the possible scenario for growth in the economy? We're going to lend people more money? I mean, come on. I was like amazed that he would sit there and play that game. Oh, my CDs are only making 4%, and I'm like, you ought to be grateful you're getting your 4%, you dumb fuck. People are going to start losing 70%, you dumb shithead. You're gaining 4%, you're going to complain when everybody else is going to start losing 70%?
But that's the bizarre thing, Gary. That's the surreal thing is if the only thing that if you lived in a bubble and the end of going on in the world was a stock ticker, you'd actually think things are doing pretty well. Right now, if you're just watching NASDAQ, you could actually think things are doing pretty well. If you weren't aware of continually escalating unemployment rates, if you weren't aware of more companies closing up shop, school districts closing down, if the only thing you're watching is that stock ticker, you could actually think that things are doing pretty well. Wall Street set the top 50 Wall Street trading firms set record salaries and bonuses this year, record breaking. Wall Street is paying its people more than ever before. The bar has been raised. Because there's this disconnect. We've gotten, this is what the bailout bought us. The ability to get right back into the game of playing around with stocks and bonds as if they're existing in some kind of fantasy land that's completely disconnected from reality. The problem is that reality is the one that gets to pay the bill.
Well, that's the whole game, though, is that, all this printed cash is just going into the stock market. It's not going into the economy. It's just going into the stock market. So this is the inflation, and that's where it's going to be, the price will be paid, though, is because it's synthetic. It's not building anything real. It's just propping up the stock market, and that's why they're doing it. It's just propping up the stock market. But it won't do it for long. The revenues are going to keep dropping. The states are all bankrupt. They've had to be bailed out over $400 billion already, and that number is just going to get higher and higher and higher. It's the game over.
How much better off would we be if, when we realized what all these people like AIG and Lehman Brothers had actually done, how much better off would we be if we had just taken these people and led them into the middle of Wall Street and cut their heads off?
Well, the argument is about what would happen if you let the banks fail, okay? And that's would have been honest, okay? But yeah, it would have been catastrophic in the sense it still would have had a huge impact on the economy because everybody starts. The problem is this is a chain reaction. Okay, if I need to get my money back, that means I have to go to the people who owe me money and get my money from them. And then they have to go from the people that owe them money and get their money from them. And then they have to, so the debt thing starts chasing somebody who's actually going to pay the debt, and there's nobody to pay it. So it would force the bankruptcies. All right, and the problem is that there's so much bad cash out there, there's so much bad debt out there, that once that cycle starts, it's going to be like I said, it's going to require that it's like half the cash has to be burned, more than half. It's like you have to take 75% of all the money that we have and burn it to get to the real economy. I mean, that's the nature of all this bad debt that's out there. And so our economy has to shrink, it's going to have to take a huge, gigantic hit.
The problem doesn't really lie with corporate executives, but much so as a problem with the failing of the infrastructure in the United States. We don't have the means to support the populace as a whole. Rising inflation rates goes hand in hand with high unemployment. The Phillips curve is going to mean that the inflation rates are going to continue to rise. The dollar is going to continue to depreciate, and there's really not a solution at this time. I mean, it's possible that social programs could employ a lot of people in the United States to stop devaluation of the dollar, but that's not going to happen because this is America and socialism is bad, okay? It's really bad.
Yeah, no, this is solvable. I mean, we could sustain exactly the economy we have right now, and we could just, deal with the peak oil thing so we'd have higher energy costs in the future. If we just do the rebalancing of the debt, that means we just tell the rich their IOUs are shit. Okay, they might own a bond, but it's just not worth anything. It's only the whole equation is going to be created by rich people trying to save their money. Okay, so it says $1 billion. You're going to be saying to yourself at some point in the near future, where do I want to put my $1 billion so it doesn't get killed? Okay, because the stock market's going to kill it. This place is going to kill it. So I have to put it somewhere. And they're all going to chase this. Yes, exactly. They're going to chase some commodity that they can own that's going to be bulletproof, that isn't going to be capable of being destroyed in its value. And that's going to be the new run on the bank. And that's what's going to just destroy the economy. But the point is that this is a rich man, poor. The whole problem is created by too many IOUs. So if you just kill the IOUs, you're okay. And most of the IOUs are held by 3% of the human population. 3% of the people are going to ruin life for 90% of the people. I mean, that's how it's going to work. We're going to save 3% from an inconvenience of going from 10 Mercedeses to 1 Mercedes. We're going to allow potentially billions of people to suffer horribly. I mean, it's just so insanely stupid. But yeah, it fixes the whole thing. If you just kill the IOUs, we don't have a problem. If we just wipe out the damn debt, if we have a debt jubilee, the game is back on. Now, Hawkins is a jerk. Anyway, another subject. Moon colonies. Yeah, clever. Oh, this attitude that people have, like this, somehow the future's in space. Space is a really nasty shit